So we're just about set to go. We're going 10 rounds. Could be an entertaining fight. Let's meet him with Michael Buffer.
Ladies and gentlemen, Top Rank Incorporated and the undisputed, undefeated king of beer, Budweiser, present the featured bout of the evening. This bout is sanctioned by the New Jersey State Athletic Control Board, Boxing Commissioner Larry Hazard Sr., Chairman Jerry Gormley, Deputy Commissioners Lawrence Wallace and R. Yogi Hiltner, Board members Gary Shaw and Richard Harrison. The three judges for this bout: Gene Williams, James Condon, and Richard Strange. Chief Medical Officer Dr. Frank B. Doggett. Attending physicians Dr. Earl Shaw and Dr. Stanley Eden. The timekeeper is Arthur Spell. Counting for the knockdown seconds is alternate referee Arthur Mercanti. And now, ladies and gentlemen, from the Trump Castle Casino Resort here by the Bay in Atlantic City, New Jersey, let's get ready to rumble! 10 rounds of boxing. In the heavyweight division, the referee for this bout is Rafael Ramos. Introducing first, fighting out of the red corner, wearing the white trunks with blue trim, weighing 231 1/2 pounds. He's from Chicago, Illinois, with a professional record of 17 victories and 10 KOs, only 4 defeats. Ladies and gentlemen, Oliver, the Atomic Bull McCall. And across the ring, his opponent in the blue corner, wearing the black trunks with white trim and weighing an even 231 pounds. He's from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. 17 victories with 12 KOs against 5 defeats. Introducing Jesse Thunder Ferguson.
You received a pre-fight instruction. Do you have any question? Protect yourselves at all times. Come on, shake hands.
And so here is a look at Bert Cooper. We already looked at Bert Cooper, didn't we? And Oliver McCall and his pal, Jesse Ferguson. But he said when the bell rings, it is all business. Got to be a very tough thing, though.
It really is. My question is, they were playing cards when the call came. I never did find out who won the card game.
That's true. We should have asked, huh?
Yeah.
The card game becomes incidental now. Oliver McCall strikes me as one of those guys who could be about as good as he wants to be. 48% in the knockout department to 55 for Ferguson. They've had a similar number of fights, but as you mentioned earlier, Ferguson has not been as active as McCall.
You are looking at two men that if you're a heavyweight contender and you want someone to come in the gym and spar with you and get you really ready because they're good, those are the two guys right there. Their careers, though, have not moved as they would like it to all the time. McCall with maybe a little better off than Ferguson, but that's the secret for them. They want to get over being thought of as great sparring partners. They want to be thought of as great heavyweights.
And let me say this before there's a flash knockdown. Ferguson has come in here pretty cool. He doesn't, really hasn't broken a sweat, doesn't really look ready to fight quite yet. And that often results in flash knockdowns.
He is going right to Oliver McCall. They have sparred before themselves against each other, and neither man thought it was that conclusive. Oliver McCall didn't think Ferguson offered him too much. He even suggested he had to ease off on him once or twice.
And as only our friend Lee Samuels can put it, Lee Samuels, who writes the press releases for Top Rank Boxing, says, Oliver says he knocks the stuffing out of Jesse Ferguson. And actually, I did see a little sage in the ring.
Lee is so descriptive with his phrases. McCall not noted as a fantastically quick starter. He likes to get the feel of things. And in the fight with Selden, while it was fairly even over the first 5 or 6 rounds, he did not dominate. And that's why I suggested it might not be a bad idea for him in this bout to come out a little quicker. And you even pointed out that Ferguson didn't look that warmed up.
Right hand by McCall, partially blocked by the gloves of Ferguson. That one got through.
You know, some people might forget Jesse Ferguson fought young Mike Tyson when Tyson was just on the cusp of getting the heavyweight title and gave him a pretty darn good battle for 6 rounds. Got knocked out, but, you know, whacked Mike with a couple of good uppercuts and really was in there in that bout. And that bout probably took something out of Jesse, too.
Yeah, both these fighters have been either in actual combat or sparred with the very best in the heavyweight division. first round, and even though these two know each other very well, it was still a round of feeling each other out.
Today, hey, Ace is the place.
Round 2, Jesse Ferguson in the black trunks and Oliver McCall in the white with a blue stripe. Both fighters saving the big stuff.
McCall, of course, has done one thing, I think, so far that bodes well for him. He's established his jab fairly well, and you want to do that against Jesse Ferguson. Look at how that proves my point. So I didn't even know that graphic was coming up. What do you think about that?
Excellent. Very limited jabbage.
Yeah. Ferguson with, you know, we are becoming like Bill and Ted in Their Excellent Adventure. I said heinous earlier. You're saying jabbage. That's right. A lot of babage in the crowd, too, I guess, huh? Well, I'm just using those phrases. Don't get any letters from any women's groups.
McCall seemingly letting Ferguson come to him. It seems to be his plan of attack. Good body shot by Oliver McCall.
Tactically, McCall is pretty much boxing the right match. It's just a question of how busy he can be. I just thought he might be a little busier earlier, but Ferguson has not pressed it that much, so. Of course, we did mention that Ferguson clearly wants this bout to go into the later rounds. He said if I have a chance to hurt him or knock him out early, I'll do it, but I don't mind if it goes the distance or toward the end of this bout.
You were telling a story of how they found out about this fight as they were playing cards with each other. The call came for Jesse Ferguson. The people asked Ferguson, how'd you like to fight Oliver McCall? And he said, that'd be fine. He said, do you think McCall would like to fight you? And he said, just a minute, I'll ask him.
That's right, he was right there. Jesse Ferguson is starting now, though, to really work the body of McCall. And, of course, that would be in his game plan, trying to slow him down for the later rounds. We should point out Jesse is the older of the two boxers, 9 years older at 34. So he says the later rounds are better for him. That remains to be seen, though.
And very limited activity. And having been a professional since 1984, he still only had 22 fights.
Good hook by Ferguson. Some subtle changes here for Jesse Ferguson.
Coming to the end of round 2, very little to choose between these two. We'll be back.
When your office is 200,000 acres.
We start the third round. Jesse Ferguson and Oliver McCall. A little bit of a better second round for Jesse Ferguson, but was it enough to win the round?
He made some inroads in that he got in and was able to work the body a little bit, but as the numbers would indicate, McCall still has an edge in total punches in any case. Not a good percentage landed. That's through the second round.
Let's offer a quick congratulations here while we have a moment to one of our ace cameramen out in Las Vegas, Gordy Sager, and his wife Deirdre, parents of a 7-pound-plus boy, a little Sager.
Congratulations to those two. Does that mean that little youngster is going to be a handheld cameraman when he grows up?
It means we're going to see a lot of home movies.
Maybe on Ringside Report, you never know. McCall using that jab there, or Ferguson using the jab, trying to get inside, landed a good right hand in there. And those are the punches McCall even admitted are dangerous. Jesse Ferguson on the inside is a very tough boxer. Who grew up in Wisconsin, moved to Chicago, and as a high schooler, and was 31-1 as an amateur. He won a couple of Chicago Golden Gloves championships.
Good athlete in general. Played little hoops.
He told us when he was playing with Mercer, when he injured himself, he said, I knew it was going to happen. He said he kept driving in the lane. I kept telling him, don't drive in here. Something's going to happen. He said, I just stay out and shoot jump shots. He said, sure enough, Mercer drove in, tripped over somebody, and hurt himself.
I think it was McCall who he tripped over.
Yeah, I think it was.
Nobody really seems to be reaching out and grasping this fight by the throat.
No, and it's what you said. You know, McCall especially is a boxer that is renowned for boxing as hard as he needs to win a match, or in some cases to just barely lose a match. And in these days in boxing, you're not just boxing to win, you're boxing to make yourself more marketable. It's just a fact of life. Whether it's appropriate or not doesn't matter. That is the way things are.
And the other thing, too, there's no secrets between these two, even as to who is or isn't in shape.
It's true. And Ferguson convinced McCall will fade in the later rounds. We'll see.
Well, Ferguson's certainly fighting the fight that way. Like he feels he can come on in the later rounds and win it. And to 3. We'll be back. Look at Jesse Ferguson. Ferguson playing a weighted game with his friend Oliver McCall. Both got there. In the third round, both fighters landing the same amount of punches, and that is not too many.
No, not a great percentage, and they're not throwing that many either.
Now, the other thing that I just noticed with McCall, and frankly have not noticed it with too many fighters before, McCall has a tendency to close his eyes when he throws a punch.
Not the best thing.
Good left hand by Ferguson. McCall holds on, smiles.
Good body shot downstairs by Jesse. What he wants to do. The inactivity of Jesse Ferguson in some ways I think showing, because he's only had one fight since 1988. You can see he's not as sharp in the ring there, not getting off as quickly as he would like. Granted, he's been sparring, but it isn't quite the same thing. There's the jab by McCall. When he gets that out there and lands it, it's effective. One of those at ringside, Chuck Minker, the commission in Nevada, came out east here to give a seminar. We saw him this morning. I thought maybe he got on the wrong airplane.
It's true. It was a little deja vu, wasn't it?
You know, all the boxing people in town here for tomorrow night's Bo Selden matchup.
It's an all-star cast ringside here. Michael Katz, Mike Wiley, Buddy Matthews, the greats and the near greats. Bob Arum with his man from Glad suit tonight.
You are into fashion tonight, aren't you?
It's a nice suit.
Ferguson landing on the inside, and you know, you mentioned it in a previous bout. This one is just sitting there waiting for someone to take control of it.
And McCall is sitting and waiting for Ferguson. There's a right hand by McCall. It was a pretty good shot. McCall presses the action a little bit at the end of the fourth round. Crowd getting a little restless here. In the corner of Oliver McCall now.
Yeah. That's right, getting tired, so you can start being first on you. Yeah. You can start being first. Got to be more aggressive. Yeah, be more aggressive. You can start being first. He just tore it off. He done start getting tired, so you can be more aggressive on him. Bam, bam, pop, and step right back in there with that right hand. Drop your chin between here when you punch. Don't leave your head up. And be more aggressive. Get up, jump on him. Start jumping on him. He getting tired. Right. Hit him to the body, too, because he in that shell. When you go in that shell, hit that body.
Here's an example of Oliver McCall blinking his eyes, Barry mentioned, closing it when he throws a punch. Not really the best thing. And closing it when he's going to hit. You know, I wonder if there's something bothering him in the eyes. Maybe some substance that got there.
I got it.
Blinking right there, you see it. Quick now, the famous heavyweight championship match in which a boxer had stuff in his eyes for a whole round and barely survived and went on to win. Ooh, a quiz.
Wasn't Ali against Cooper, was it?
Ali against Sonny Liston in his first when he won his championship.
In the fourth round, and again, nobody really getting there with any consistency.
No, it really not an excellent round for either man. Don't you love these pop quizzes when I throw them at you?
That was good. I was half right.
You were close. You had half the guy.
Right hand by McCall again. There's a left hand by McCall.
Going after Jesse Ferguson now.
In McCall's corner, you might have heard them saying that they felt that Ferguson was tiring and that McCall could open up a little bit. Instead, Ferguson jumps on McCall but missed. The right hand was caught in the gloves. Left hand might have gotten there.
The hook by Ferguson was pretty good. Ferguson looks like he's a bit fatigued right now too. He thought the later rounds would benefit him, but he's not. He's huffing and puffing a bit.
This is the fifth round, scheduled for 10. Oliver McCall in the white trunks, Jesse Ferguson in the black. Ferguson coming off a lot of inactivity, and McCall coming off what arguably is his best win against Bruce Seldon.
So many times before McCall had failed against the major opponents, lost to Buster Douglas in 10, lost to Ola Norris in a split decision that he feels he won. Lost to Mike the Bounty Hunter also. It was a very awkward and difficult man to box.
McCall fighting a much more, I don't know that I'd go to the extent of using the word cautious fight, but he's sure waiting a lot, and he hit with the left hand by Ferguson.
Good hook by Jesse Ferguson. Jesse's landed about 3 or 4 really good hooks. They haven't shaken McCall, but
well, it's interesting. We only heard the corner of McCall saying that Ferguson was a little bit tired and that he should open up. You have the idea watching this fifth round that Ferguson might have gotten exactly the same advice.
yes. And he has tried to land a few more shots. Nothing even remotely resembling combinations from these boxers.
Body shot by McCall. Pretty good shot. Not a bad idea.
Ferguson was the one working the body earlier. Now McCall picking up the idea.
And both got there at the bell. Let's go into Ferguson's corner. And I don't know why. I just have the idea that we might hear a repeat of what we heard in McCall's corner. Let's listen.
Don't wait till you wait too long, Jesse. Good round. Wait too long, just put your shots together. Seems so far away. What you got? What's that doing? That's because you're not jabbing. Come on. Come on, walk down my back.
Let's get him out this round, Jesse, okay?
Good jab. Love jab. Here. Stick it in him and step into him.
Let's get him out this round. This should be the round that day.
Put a grease.
And when you fire this bitch ain't got nothing.
Fire the hook, the right hand, you come right back with another right hand.
You know what round this is?
Strong words in the corner, and here is McCall coming in at the end of the round, landing, and some of that action maybe coming after the bell, and Jesse Ferguson thinking about going after McCall.
Ferguson made a pretty good point, though. You heard him ask his trainer, he seems so far away. Actually, he didn't ask. He made the statement, he seems so far away. His trainer said, well, you got a jab to get in. And it is true. McCall is just kind of sitting and waiting for Ferguson.
And that, and of course, good advice to jab your way in and then get in where you can throw those short punches.
Total punches in the fifth round, and once again, they are nothing if not consistent.
Dead even. I ended up giving Ferguson the round by just the narrowest of margin, but make a case either way. See Ferguson short with his punches there. You think there's any more contact between the two during the card game?
Probably not. Huh? Unless they're playing slapjack.
Sometimes this is what happens when you have two guys that do know each other a little too well.
And you have it as an even fight. Seems fair to me.
Well, you know, it's a close bout. If I had to lean either one way or the other, I might lean a little bit toward McCall and think maybe some judges might have him that way. But after the Dar Peoples bout, I'm not even going to think about how anyone might score.
That's really true.
How could you score? How could you not give Dar the last 2 rounds in that bout? That's almost impossible.
Yeah, and he did on all 3 judges' cards lose at least one of them.
Yeah, and that seems inconceivable to me. McCall getting the jab in, but not throwing it with much conviction.
Left hand there by Ferguson drove McCall off.
McCall is rated 11th by the IBF. Ironically, the WBC has him rated 29th. They have Bruce Seldon 26th, whom he beat. And you know who the WBC has ranked as its 9th ranked heavyweight? Larry Holmes.
There you are. That's all you need to know about.
That's amazing.
All the letter organizations.
Then again, the IBF has Mike Tyson ranked 5th behind, among others, Pierre Cocher. Which, but that stems from the feud between Tyson and his people in the IBF. But nevertheless, Mike Tyson's not a worse fighter than Pierre Cocher. And he's probably not the 5th worst heavyweight or best heavyweight in the world.
I mean, they ought to call him something other than ratings then.
Right.
Ferguson back. It's hard to really pick out one of these guys
that really is
taking control or in any better condition to go the rest of the way. And round 6. We'll be back.
Howard Johnson is locked in a tight battle.
Here's Jesse Ferguson whipping out that left hook, and it lands kind of on the ear of Oliver McCall. Left hook has been Ferguson's best punch. But as with so many other punches in this bout, there hasn't been that many of them.
Well, I can't wait to see the numbers because I have to think that they're probably very comparable to what we've been seeing all along. That is about 13 punches per fighter per round. Not quite.
Yeah, but close. McCall landing 12 and Ferguson 7. Wow. I mean, and the numbers thrown very heavyweight kind of a bout. 40-some punches thrown. The lighter weights, of course, you see more thrown and landed.
Ferguson just a second ago threw that uppercut for the first time, but it's the first time he's been close enough to throw it.
Yeah, and boy, remember those keys to victory. He's got a good uppercut, Jesse Ferguson, but as you said, has not used it, and part of the reason is he hasn't been in position to throw that punch.
McCall, it seems, is doing just enough.
Yeah, probably enough to be ahead in this bout, possibly. But not enough to really be convincing in his performance here.
Which, in this wonderful sport of boxing, means that he may get more fights.
Yeah, it's true. He was saying how they wanted to fight with Riddick Bowe and Mercer and some others, and they can't seem to get it because they don't want him. Well, maybe they'll want him.
Fighters want to fight people they think they can beat. It's fairly good logic.
Yeah.
Nice combination there.
You know who is one of the interesting exceptions to that rule? We see him on the list of both these boxers. Orlin Norris. He boxes anybody. You put anybody in front of Orlin Norris and he'll fight him.
I think he might have gotten a thumb in the eye.
Yeah, Jesse Ferguson did get a thumb in the left eye, I think. It's slow going in this match. No question about that. And in our previous heavyweight match, a lot more punches thrown. Bert Cooper and Wade, even though Wade was having a hard time landing, he was more active.
Coming down inside of 30 seconds remaining in round 7. It's a 10-round fight. A little fatigue could be setting in, certainly on McCall and maybe on Ferguson as well.
They're not throwing a lot of punches on the inside there.
Coming to the end of round number 7. And yes, it's real speed. Boxing tonight. Round number 8. McCall in the white trunks, Ferguson in the black.
We forgot to read Van Poppel's press clippings in the minor leagues, huh?
He's having a little bit of trouble, apparently having some control problems, but playing on a team that in general gives up a lot of runs defensively, so nobody's really too concerned. Right hand by Ferguson. But when last I looked, I think his record was something like 6-11.
Wow. There is McCall landing the left hook. I think both men who heard some boos from the crowd as they went back to their corner are probably thinking to themselves, I'm going to make something happen here. And I think the pressure is really on McCall because he has at his disposal here in this arena all the movers and shakers in boxing, and the people that are looking in the heavyweight division that could possibly see him as an opponent, and he's not impressing people. Yes, sometimes that gets you more fights, but also sometimes it makes you less likely to get bouts.
On your card now, McCall starting nose in front.
Got him ahead 68-66. Not a lot of impressive rounds, but rounds that he's doing enough to win, as you said, just enough.
A lot of leaning going on the last couple of rounds, which could serve Ferguson well, actually, because it does bring McCall into uppercut range.
There is one from Jesse, but he threw that going back, coming forward, and at 34 with his long layoff, Jesse is looking every bit of his age right now. So he thought later in the round would be his. Right now, he's the one that's fading kind of badly, and it's only a question of whether McCall can take advantage of it. Jesse Ferguson looks very tired.
Yes, he does. Breathing through his mouth. Good left right hand by Ferguson, right on the chin.
Wanted to contradict me there, didn't he? And really, now you have to look at Oliver McCall and say how much is he taking advantage of it. Not as much as he ought to.
Free hands, let's go.
I think McCall is a little bit tired, too.
Yeah, absolutely.
Ferguson really laying on McCall. Conversely, McCall laying on Ferguson.
Yeah, McCall would do better to get some punching room.
Headed for the end of round number 8. Again, a close round, but Ferguson just not doing enough to win it.
It's the Craftsman. Jesse Ferguson against the ropes. This was a good counter right hand that he landed against Oliver McCall, but those have been few and far between for Ferguson.
It's not too late, but it has been too little. And in Jesse Ferguson's corner, they said, you're blowing it. You have got to start punching.
How much does he have left to do that with? That's the question. This fight has not been fought at a torrid pace, so these men should have something left. But
and that will tell you what Ferguson has done. 81 punches landed to 115. So McCall doing just enough. Not big numbers in any category.
Averaging about 10 punches landed a round, and it's not good.
These are heavyweights. Jesse Ferguson and Oliver McCall. Ferguson in the black trunks, McCall in the white trunks with the blue stripe. I don't guess I had to tell you they were heavyweights, did I? Seemingly doing enough to win the fight.
Yeah, just barely. And, you know, landing more, throwing more punches and landing more. But again, throwing a lot of punches without too much conviction. And as sterling as he was, especially in the latter part of his bout against Selden, that's how flat he's been here. And, you know, he told us that he thought that win would give him the confidence to look better every time out. And it hasn't done that so far. Not to denigrate him too badly, it's just that it has not been that precise and good a performance by McCall.
Certainly not an aggressive performance.
No. He doesn't look like a man who wants to do anything possible to impress this boxing crowd and impress the movers and shakers here and show that he is, in fact, a top heavyweight.
Ferguson trying to load up but missed with most of it.
Maybe this week was the week I should have been the Grand Marshal at the rodeo.
Next week's a pretty good card.
Next
That's
weekend,
right.
a terrific card, and I'll be out in Payson, Arizona, watching you guys thinking, why wasn't I here? I'll be having fun where I'm at, but you'll have Sugar Ray Leonard here next week.
That's right.
You haven't worked with Ray alone yet.
It's been a long time.
It's been a while.
Yeah.
We were kind of all together at the Olympic Festival, where you were hosting, and I was down at ringside with him.
Yeah, I'm glad to have Ray doing some of these fights that you aren't able to do, or I'm not able to do. Ray will be the old right-hander out of the bullpen.
John Havlicek, kind of a swing man.
That's okay. Good right hand, even though a little bit of a slapping right hand by McCall. And there are only 3 minutes of boxing left. Obviously, in Ferguson's corner, they feel that he has to knock the man out. Probably a pretty accurate assessment.
A little sarcasm from the crowd as Michael Buffer said it was the last round. They cheered, but I sensed that cheer was because it is the last round. That's what they've seen.
But nothing that resembles a knockdown in this fight. I don't think either man has been hurt at all.
And we really heard both corners telling their men to go out and go for broke, if you will. Even McCall being told that. And that, I suspect, is partially due to what we talked about earlier. It's not always good enough to win. You have to do something impressive in winning.
Well, and I think, too, people in general just don't like to leave things in the hands of the judges.
Very good point. Talked about Orlin Norris, watching him against Tony Tucker and seeing the outcome of that after Norris looked like he really dominated that match. Sure, he thought he was winning going into that, a little like the knockout. Ended up losing. So strange things happen often.
Crowd already booing with 1 minute and 40 seconds left in this fight.
Well, it's been a performance in which neither man has been able to really do exactly what they wanted. McCall has probably done a little bit more, but not that much more.
Even in this round, a lot of missed punches.
Ferguson getting there with one left hook, but here's where McCall really needs some punching in. He's not specifically an inside fighter there. And Ferguson just doing very little offensively. And that may be my grossest understatement of the year.
Yes, that's true.
And the year is not over yet. Nice hook by Ferguson. Hey, that might have hurt McCall.
That was a pretty good shot. Ferguson tries to open up.
I think that hook got Oliver McCall's attention. And you know, it's possible Ferguson won the 9th and maybe this 10th round could make things closer. Yeah, I think Oliver McCall definitely was hurt by that left hook. At least to the point where it's really slowed him a bit.
But just not enough. And again, a cynical cheer from the crowd. That's it. The crowd will tell you its feeling about this one when we'll be back to find out who won it, if anybody, right after this. Between the tortoise and the tortoise, who won? Here's Michael Buffer.
Ladies and gentlemen, here at the Trump Castle, we go to the scorecards. All three judges, Gene Williams, James Condon, and Richard Strange, scored about the same, 96 to 94 on all three scorecards for the winner, Oliver Atomic Bull McCall.
That seems just about right, I would say. And when we come back, we will talk to the Atomic Bull. We'll also talk to Oliver McCall right after this. Don't go away. We're coming back.